everybody, welcome back to my channel, Counting Blessings. And today we're going to be talking about money, more specifically, debt. And my version of a debt snowball. Now, as a disclaimer, yes, this has very much modeled after Dave Ramsey's debt snowball and his guidelines on how to pay off debt. But I have modified, changed, and made his plan work for me. So before you make comments about that's not how a debt snowball works or this isn't the way it was intended to be used, I know that already. I decided to make something that's going to work for me and my family because everybody is different. Now, I'm going to share with you what I've done. And before we go forth, I'm going to show you some of my debt snowballs. Because when I started this, I was in this notebook. And I don't know if you can see this or not, but I have listed on the side 5 debts that I had. Credit card debt or credit type loan debt. My Great Lakes was my student loan. Wells Fargo, which was almost paid off. Almost. Very close. Very close. My car loan, service finance, and my son's orthodontist. Now, if you notice, it says paid off August 29th, 2019. My payment was $125 and I paid a debt snowball of, I found an excess amount of cash of $145 I could throw at this from our normal expenses. So it didn't mess up our bottom line. So I made a payment of $170 and I paid that off. I made a notation of it. Then we go into September. I had $112 plus $100 I was paying extra, which again, I know this is a modified version of Dave Ramsey's snowball effect, plus the $170 from the payoff, which made my monthly payment of $382. Okay, and I think I stopped using this when I started using this one in September because I got out of this notebook. That notebook ended. So then I got this one and I just did 4 because in January, well, not because, but in January, so this is September, this is what I was doing. $150 plus $150, $300 monthly payment is my monthly payment that I was paying because I had to reallocate funds out for my son's orthodontist and other things that happened. And that's just the way life goes. Now, you see all this pencil work down here. That was my game plan of getting things paid off. And in January, my son's orthodontist got paid off, which I did note in here. I thought, yeah, it got paid off. I denoted that in there. So I took that payment of $100 and I put it toward Wells Fargo. So in January of 2020, I had a debt snowball of $400. That $400 kind of saved us because when COVID hit and I was furloughed in March, I was able to go back to making just the base payment. It's hard to say. Was a very small amount, but I was able to use a lot of that $400 and allocate it out the rest of our bills and keep us going. So, and then this notebook ended in June. So there's nothing else adding to this. In June, this notebook ended, and then I moved into my new planner, which I'm going to show you my debt snowball worksheet in there. It's very simple. Once again, you see pencil writing right here, right here. I decided not to ink in because life changes. Right now, in July when I started this, my balance was $277, and my monthly payment is $112. I have not paid off any other debt, so I can't add to that. Although I am happy to say, I think I'm down to $168 is what I'm down to owing at this moment in time, and it's August. So I have a payment and a half due. So September, I will move into Fortiva, which is a loan I have for my home security system, but that's a different story. I get to move into that one, and Wells Fargo will be officially paid off. So this is my plan. And like I said, it is a modified version of Dave Ramsey. I made it work for me, and I do a envelope-based system when it comes to paying bills. And if you guys want to know more about how I do that, please feel free to comment down below, and maybe I'll get into doing that. I'm just not 100% comfortable talking about my bills exactly, but I will be happy to go over in broad strokes of what I do. So let's dive into how I make this work. And what I'm going to do is we're going to use this couple that I created, or I made up, Sam and Erica. They just got married, and they decided to go through and figure out what they can do to help pay off their debt. Yes, these numbers may be realistic, non-realistic. I don't know. I just threw it together. Let's get started kind of thing. This is what everyone should do when you get started on a debt snowball. Look at where your money is. Look at where it is going. So I list down all their bills. I went through home. I don't know if it's rent, mortgage, whatever, power, car payment, car insurance, cable, internet, phone, subscriptions, a student loan, credit card bills, and just a random loan I threw in there. Now, I did this simply because you want to know what you're starting with. You want to know where your money is going. And then you also have expenses. You figure out what they are. You have groceries, gas, allowances is what, everybody needs their own money to spend on. If you want to go get a latte, if you want to go and get your nails done, if you want to go to the movies, you don't want to necessarily take money from your budget to go do those things. Or if you want to buy a new pocketbook, or you need a new pair of shoes, or whatever the case may be, if you don't have a line in your budget that says, hey, clothing, well, how are you going to pay for that? Well, it's going to come out of your allowances, whether that's for out to eat or whatever the case may be. My husband and I also do an allowance system, and it works. Doesn't matter what the money's spent on, but you have that money to do with as you see fit. Now, I decided to just throw some numbers in here, and whatever expenses that you want to keep track of, whether if it's a running total of, hey, every week we want to put money into this account because this is for clothing, and you deposit each paycheck or each month $20, so you have a rolling total that has a balance that keeps increasing over time. So when you do need to go buy new boots, or you do need to go buy new clothes, or whatever, you have that money already set aside because you had a line in your budget that you were adding to on a regular basis. But for the instance of this, I went really basic. Groceries, gas, allowance, date night. They're a couple. Everyone needs to go out on a date. It's sanity. You need to spend time together on a date outside the house with that. So they decided to need $200 a month, you guys, just a month. That may be, and like I said, this is just, we're working with it, okay? That's $50 once a week, 4 weeks a month. That's $200. So it's not very feasible that you're going to spend $200 in date type experiences throughout the month. And then they want to put $100 into savings every month. So that means the total bill amount was $1,801, and total expenses are $1,290. So this is what they decided they're going to go into. So they look at their income. One of them makes $2,000 roughly, give or take, and income two is $1,200. Now keep in mind, this is just a blanket what could happen type situation. Okay, so their total income is $3,200. Take away their bills, take away their expenses, they are left with a remaining unaccounted for $109. So they have decided to make their beginning snowball. Makes that their beginning snowball. So then they need to go in and look at their debt. Okay, so look at their debt. Okay, make sure I'm in the frame here. So look at their debt. Now, we all know that car payment is a debt, but student loan, credit card 2, and loan. Those are the 4 things they want to work on. The student loan balance as of this time is $14,000. Okay. Credit card 1 has a balance of $950. Credit card 2 has a balance of $4,200. And then this random loan down here that maybe was taken out for their wedding, okay, has a balance of $6,000. Like I said before, this is a modified version of Dave Ramsey, and I know I don't do it exactly the way Dave Ramsey tells you to in his program. So what they have decided to do is they looked at their bills and said, you know what, we want to pay off credit card number 1. Okay? And they want to use this $109 as the beginning of their snowball. Okay, so let's look at that credit card. This, we're going to say we're going to deal with August. Okay, so in August, they have decided to pay down the credit card 1, which currently has a balance of $950. It has a base payment currently, and we all know those fluctuate based on what your actual balance is due to interest. But right now they're doing $75 a month. Now, if they just did that base payment, it would take them 13 months, 1 year, 1 month to pay that off. Now, because they've decided to do their base plus their snowball, it's going to be a payment of $184. Okay, so this is August. They're going to start doing this payment in August. And it's going to take them 5 months to pay this off. So come December, this one is paid off. All right, so let me look around January. Okay, so January, and yes, this is going to be a very quick run through of what could happen in the grand scheme of everything, all right? And this is what I did when I did my debt snowballs. Like, what would happen? Let's play out the numbers. Where's it going to put us? Now, we have a debt snowball of $184 because we were in our budget paying that amount of money. If we use that money, we can put for other things, right? Or we can just free that money up and put it into savings. Or we could take that money and add it to our next bill. And we have decided that we're going to pay down credit card 2. Now, our beginning balance in August for credit card 2 was $44,200. But we've made the payment of $190 for the 5 months that we were also paying down credit card 1. So our balance at the beginning for January would be $3,250. And I'm not taking into account interest. I'm just playing with some numbers here. If they made that payment, I deducted it and calculated it that way. But now that's our balance. And our base payment for that bill is $190. Okay. Now, if they just continue paying that $190 a month, it's going to take them 17 months to pay that bill off. If they don't add anything else to it and they make their payments on time, it's going to take them 17 months. But if they take the base payment and add their snowball, which is the $184, they're going to be making a payment of $374. Okay. So starting in January of 2021, they'll make a payment of $374 because that money's already accounted for with this total bills. They're not paying more than that or less than that. It's already accounted for. It's money that they would be normally spending. It's just moved on. You're going to add it to your next bill. Hence, snowball. You start small and you build up. So if they do that, they can actually get credit card bill paid off in 9 months. So it's going to be paid off in September of 2021. So in almost a year, just over a year, they have paid down 2 of their bills. They no longer have those credit card balances. It's a great feeling. In just over a year, they have paid the $950 and the $4,200. They paid it off. And now they have a debt snowball of $374. So what do they do next? Do they pay off the loan or they go to the student loan? They decide to do the loan. So come October, we have the loan, and they had been paying their $150 a month for the 5 months and the 9 months. So we now have a balance of $4,050. Okay? And if we have just the base payment, we continue paying just the base on that, which is $150. It is going to take them 27 months to pay it off. But because they have the snowball, so if we add the snowball, we're going to have a payment of $524, meaning they can actually get this debt paid off in 8 months, in May of 2022. And then we have the very last one that they wanted to get paid off, which is a student loan. So in June, we're going to go with the student loan. So the balance that they have at this time, after they've made their payments through all of this time frame, is $12,900 is what their balance is at this point in time. And their base was only $50. Okay? If they continue paying that out, even if whatever fluctuates, it would take them 258 months to pay that down at $50 a month. But if we add the snowball of the 524 to that 50, they now have a payment of $574. And if they do that, they can get the student loan paid off in 23 months. So it will be paid off in May of 2024. Now keep in mind, they started this debt journey in August of 2020. So in 4 years, they have paid off their total debt, which is pretty amazing. So that is how I do my snowball, with this as an example. If you're looking to do a snowball, it's okay. Get a notebook, start writing some stuff down. Figure out what your monthly bills are. Figure out what your monthly expenses are, or what lines you want to dedicate toward expenses that you have on a monthly basis. Figure out what the totals are. Look at your income. If you have a fluctuating income, I have a fluctuating income. So I make my budget here based on the average between the worst case and the best case. But whatever the case may be, you sit down, you make your list, you look at your income, you look in the comparison. Do you have any money that's unaccounted for? Great. Make the decision. Do you want to start that with your debt snowball and look at your debts? Do you want to take that and put it all into savings and just start paying down your debt and leave your current monthly balance alone? It depends on you and your situation, but I really do suggest starting down with a game plan. What would it look like? And do something like this. I mean, that's what I do on mine. When I did mine, I looked at it, I was like, okay, if I start with this bill, I can get it paid off by this, if everything goes as planned. And we all know that doesn't happen. It kind of got disintegrated due to COVID. But I'm starting again. I'm starting fresh. I'm going to make it work, just like I showed you before. My debt snowball, I'm starting with Wells Fargo. And down here I have in pencil. In September, I'm going to be able to make a payment of only $71, which will be my base payment plus the remaining balance after I pay this off. So in September, I'll pay off Wells Fargo and take the remaining portion of the $112 and pay it down here. So in October, I'll have a debt snowball of $112 that I can use paying off my next debt. So I have a payment of $127, which from what I calculated, I've written in here pencil, in December is my calculated time of payoff. So yeah, this is what I would suggest you to look at possibly doing if you wanted to do a debt snowball. And I hope that I was able to give you some words of wisdom, some advice. Take it for what you want. take what I do, listen to Dave Ramsey, go on YouTube, see some more videos, figure out what's going to work for you. Put it on paper, make your list, do your calculations, see what's going to work. So yeah, that's how I do my debt snowball. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And if you did, please hit that like button. And if you want to see more videos, please subscribe. I talk about planning financially, daily, homeschooling. Until next time. Bye, you guys.